Okay, hello. I am going to be playing this killer Sudoku by sudoku.com, and just kind of explaining my thought processes after playing this for, I don't know, like 2 or 3 years now, I guess. Yeah, so I guess I'll just start off with an easy one, or actually, never mind, because that's going to mess up my statistics if I'm explaining at the same time. So let's just start off with the Mother's Day event, which it doesn't store any statistics information. So basically the concept is you have these things called cages, and all the numbers inside each cage must add up to the number in the top left corner of the cage. And then all their Sudoku rules apply, so each row can only have one of the numbers 1 to 9, each column, and each of these squares. And because of this like addition property, like a lot of them are pretty obvious and straightforward, like this one in the bottom left corner, that only has one square, so obviously it's a 3. And then this one is a 5 because that adds up to 13. This is a 2, 3, 6, 1, 1, 9, 9, 2, 6. Yeah, so you get the point. I like sometimes alternate between doing actual math and doing actual Sudoku rules. So for example, these 3 8s I did just now were by like normal Sudoku rules. So like here, if I clear this, then like, we have an 8 in this column, 8 in this column. So we need an 8 in this square that is only in this column, and there's only space here. So things like that. Yeah. Let's just finish this real quick. And sometimes I can be helped out by the cages as well. Like, for example, this 5, like I saw the 5 here and the 5 here, so I knew 5 had to be one of these two, and can't be this one because this one is a 4 because it has to add up to 7. So that's also a nice little thing that helps me solve the puzzles faster as well. And there we go. That's done. This is like about twice as long as it usually takes me to finish an easy one. So here's another easy one. Maybe I'll cut this out of the video. Or maybe not. Sometimes I make mistakes. Whoopsies. Three, 4. And then like here, for example, it can be 3 here or 3 here, but I know it can't be 3 here because 13 does not add up. Like you can't do 3 plus 10 because there is no 10 in Sudoku. So 3 definitely can't be in this square, so it has to be in this one. So that's another example of ways that I use regular Sudoku rules in addition to the cages. Takes a bit of getting used to. I recently tried to play regular Sudoku again, and it kind of messed me up. It was kind of hard to get used to that again after playing this and only this for so long. Yeah. All right, cool. So 111 is more along the lines of how long it would take me to do an easy one. Hopefully this is an expert. No, it's a medium. Okay, I guess we'll just do it. This has also made me like pretty fast at like what types of numbers can add up to 2 numbers, right? Because you have to do that a lot here. For example, I'll just do this as if it were an expert level. Like I would need to fill in the clues for what 2 numbers that are different add up to 11, because they have to be different because obviously like the 2 same numbers can't be in a single box, can't be in a single row, can't be in a single column. And also an additional rule that this app never explained to me, but that I found out eventually, is that within a single cage, you also cannot have repeated numbers. So for this 24, for example, this entire thing, all of these have to be different numbers, even though technically this could be an 8 by normal Sudoku rules. Yeah, so here, for example, I know all the pairs that add up to 11. So there's 2, 9, Since there's a 2 here, I know that it must be 2, 9 like that. 3, 8, there's a 3 here, so it can't be here. 4, 7, can't be that. And 5, 6, can't be that either. So this must be a 2, 9. And then, yeah, let's do this 10 maybe. So this is a 2, the entire cage adds up to 12, which means these two must add up to 10. So there's a 1, 9, 2, 8, 3, 7, 4, 6, and I guess that wasn't very fun because most of the square was already filled in. For this one, it's 6, 9 or 7, 8, but since there's a 9 here, it has to be 7, 8. Since there's an 8 here, 8 can't be here, so 8 has to be here. Yeah, so there are a lot of steps that go into like solving individual ones that I guess I've just really gotten used to. Don't really think about them anymore. So like for here, the 2's can be here or here, and since this is easy, I can quickly check if it's 2 here, then it must be 8 here, but 8's already here, which means it can't be 2 here. Another thing I could have done is, can it be 2 here, which means it would be 6 here, and I would have to check if anything would violate a 6 being here. It doesn't, but that doesn't necessarily mean that a 6 is here for sure, because it could be one of the other combinations of an 8. But in this case, since 2 can't be here and 2, then 2 must be here. So that would be correct, but that's like something else that you would have to check. Yeah. Okay. So this 6, 10, 1. So there's some special numbers where there's only one correct combination that can add up to that. So for example here, 17, it can only be 8 and 9. The cages with only 2 numbers are pretty straightforward. It's like 3 can only be 1 plus 2, 4 can only be 1 plus 3, 17 can only be 8 plus 9, and 16 can only be 7 plus 8. And then for the 3s, I've played this so many times that I've even started memorizing ones for cages with 3 numbers. 24 is 7 plus 8 plus 9, 23 is 6 plus 8 plus 9, and let's see, 6 is 1 plus 2 plus 3, 7 is 1 plus 2 plus 4. And then there are also things like 8, it must have a 1 in it, but the rest of the numbers could be 2 plus 5 or 3 plus 4 to make up the remaining 7. So hard things like that. So since this is a harder one, I'm going to have to start using clues or hints or whatever. So here's a 24, so 7 plus 8 plus 9. Since there's a 7 here, the 7 must be here, and then the rest we can just mark as 8 or 9. And then here, for 7, it's 1 plus 6, can't be that, because 1 and 3 are like must be here. So if like 1 was in one of these other cells, then the 4 wouldn't be able to add up anymore, which means 1 and 3 must take up the there can't be any other 1s and 3s in this entire column or this entire square. It's also like a regular Sudoku thing where if you have 2 cells in the same row with the same 2 values, the same 2 hints, then all of the other ones can be removed, because if any of the other ones were that number, then that means these 2 cells would now have only one possible hint for each of them. And obviously both of them cannot be the same number. I don't know if that made sense, but yeah. Anyway, this 23, 6 plus 9 plus 8, there's a 6 here, so the 6 must be here, and then this must be a 9, because that's the only one left. So this one is 1, 8, can't be that, 2, 7. There's a 2 right here, so as I said earlier, nothing in this entire box can be a 2 anymore, so the hint for 2 must go here, and the hint for 7 goes here. And then 3, 6 can't be that, and then 4, 5 can't be that, which means we know this is a 7 and this is a 2. And then by normal Sudoku rules, like since there's only one cell remaining here, we can just count. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this must be 9. That worked out well. Yeah, let's... so while I'm doing this, context for this video, I've been thinking about doing it for a while now, and I was telling my family that like I think it'd be cool, but probably no one would watch it. It'd be really boring, as it probably is. And then my mom said I would watch it, so here I am. I am doing this video for my mom. So 8's here, 8 here, which means 8 has to be here or here. If 8 were here, then that means this must be a 2, because this is remaining 10, and 2 can't go there, so 8 must go here. Oh, whoops, 8. And then here, the rest of this is adds up to 8 as well, so we know the pairs for that. It's 1, 7, can't be that. 2, 6, it'll have to be like that because there's a 2 up here, and then 3, 5, so it can't be that. So we can just go ahead and finish this. So now this has only 1 hint in it, which means it must be 5, which means this must be 6. So it's nice doing the hints because sometimes they can help you out and they'll just like eliminate things for you. So these add up to 10. This entire cage must be 16, so this must be add up to 6, which is 1, 5, and 2, 4. There's a 4 here, so it must be 1, 5, so we can just do that. This squared can be finished as well. This one. As I said before, 4 must be 1 plus 3. Since there's a 3 here, it must be right here. So there's a lot of little shortcuts you can take that you probably wouldn't be able to do in normal Sudoku. Okay, so here's another thing of the thing I was talking about earlier. So these two must be 1, 5, which means in this entire row, you can't have any 1s or 5s in any of the hints. Because if this were 1, this cell right here, then it would erase the 1 from these two, and I would have to put 5 in one of them, but then the other one would be completely blank, which means, you know, that's not allowed. So the 2 1s here cancel out the 1 here, which means this is a 3, which means this is a 1, which means the 1 goes here. And we can finish this up pretty soon, hopefully. 5, 5, 2, 8, 9, 6. That's not right. Okay. Almost done, almost done. And then for things like a cell with 3 values that has a 9 in it, that adds up to 9, sorry, a cage that adds up to 9 with 3 possible values. There are only 3 possible combinations that can get you there. So it's 1 plus 2 plus 6, 1 plus 3 plus 5, or 2 plus 3 plus 4. So if there's ever like a thing that like removes one of the numbers, say that it removes a 3, right? Then the only possibility left is 1 plus 2 plus 6. So that's a nice little thing that you can also do. I guess that's more advanced. Another thing, oh, here's an expert, my favorite. You can see that it starts off completely blank because we have enough information from all the cages to completely solve this puzzle. Amazing. Another thing that I've started doing recently as well is that taking advantage of the fact that every square and every row and every column and every row must add up to 45, because that's 1 plus 2 plus 3 all the way up to 9. Which is something they tell you in the rules, but I didn't really think it was relevant, but it actually is pretty useful. Let's see if we can find an example here. Okay, don't really have many good examples here, but we can talk about it later. If this one takes me a while, I'll just, I don't know, speed it up or something. Okay. Okay, let's do the 45 thing. So in this cell, for example, we have 14 plus 12 plus 4 plus these two must add up to 45, right? So 12 plus 14 is 26 plus 4 is 30, which means these two must add up to 15. which means that we can use the pairs that add up to 15. So everything here must pair with everything here. Since this was already a 15, you can just copy it over to that. That didn't really help much. Let's try this instead. So 15 plus 16 is 31, which means these three must add up to 14. I guess that's not very useful either. This is actually a hard one. That sucks. Maybe let's do this one. So 14 plus 8 is 22. So this is 32, which means 13 are left, which means these two must be pairs that add up to 13. So it can't be a 1, which means I can remove the 9 from here because that's what paired with 1 before. It can't be 2 or 3. It must add up to 13, which means 4 adds with 9, which means it can't be 4 either. 6, 7 is good. 8 is not good because there's no 5 here. Whoops. And then 9 would pair with 4. So we could remove 1, 2, 3, which means 8, 7, 6 is removed as well. And now we just simplified the clues here, which is nice. But that still didn't help us too much, which is a little disappointing. And then if we look at something like here, right, when we highlight the 4 and it highlights all the 4s, we see that there are no 4s here, which means all the 4s must be here, which is very nice. So we can just put 4 in all of these because we know 4 must be in one of these, and that leaves us with 8, which is 1, 7, can't be that, 2, 6, or 3, 5, and it can't be 3, 5 because we have 3s and 5s here. So now that we have a 2, 4, 6, and it must be these 3 here, we know that 2, 4, and 6 can't be in the rest of this square as we've said before. So we can remove the 6 here, move the 6 here, and that paired with 9 before, so we can remove those, which means this can simplify to 7, 8 as well. And then we can take these out because it has a 6, and now we're good. So this 5, 9 goes over here as well, removes the 5, 9, and that pairs with the 5, 9 up there as well. Let's check the other one. So this one can't be a 5. So yeah, okay. So that simplified this greatly, which was very useful. Another thing we can look at here is this 8, the 2, 6 pair can no longer work because if this were 2, 6, it would like remove the hints from here, which means this would be 4 and this could only be 4 and this could only be 4, which is, not allowed. So we can remove the 2, 6 option from here, which is another fancy thing, I guess, that you can do. Yeah. Can I do anything else? Unfortunately, it looks like I cannot. Oh, 6, 8, so we can remove the pairs that include 6 and 8 here. This is a hard one. That sucks. Oh, okay, so here we know 8 must be in this top row as we said before, and that leaves us with 6, which means 1, 5, 2, 4, 1, 5, 2, 4. We can't do 4 because there's a 4 here, and then 1, 5, 2, 4. And then also because of that, we know 8 can't be in any of these, and regardless anyway, since all of the hints for these 6 cells are filled out and only these 2 contain 8s, that means that the 8 in this row must be in this box, which means that the 8s here could have been removed if we had put anything up there, which is a regular Sudoku thing, but having the cages helps us get there faster. So we know that this must be an 8, which means that it must pair with 7, which means we can remove the 7s from the other ones in that row. And we also have a 7, 8, 7, 8, which means we have to remove 7, 8 from here, because if this were 7 or 8, then it would ruin these two, as I keep saying, which is, I guess an important part of playing Sudoku, if you want to get fancy, I suppose. Let's see what else we can do. These had to add up to 13, right? Which means, and since we removed the 7 from here, we can also remove its corresponding pair here. And now that we have 2 5s here, we can remove the 5s here. So 6, 8, 7, 5. That was pretty fancy. Oh man, okay. Now that most of this is No, never mind. I was going to say we could do the 45 here, but we already know that this has to add up to 20, so that's not very useful. Okay, so we know that these three have to add up to 14 as we calculated before. So let's say that this is 1, then these two must add up to what's called 13, right? And so we can go through the pairs for 13. It can't be 4, 9 because of these 9 here. It can't be 5, 8 because of these 5s here. So it has to be 6, 7. So if we try that, that means that, okay, that works, right? So that's possible. So if this is 13, then that means this must be 5. But 5 can't be here, so that can't be right, which means this can't be 1. So we can kind of step backward and find out things like that. So 5, and this is 4, which means we can remove this here. And because of this 2, we can clean up this 6, this 4, these 2. So 1, 5, 2, 6, 9, 1. Remove the 7s. 3, 5, can't remove anything there. 1, 1, 3, 7, and then 8, 6, 8, 6, and this has to be 4. Okay, so we just did a lot there, so that's nice. As we know before, these must add up to 10, which means this must be an 8. So that's really quick as well. We can remove these. This must be an 8, this must be a 6. Remove, 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 and remove because of these. Okay, now let's keep going. So these must add up to 10. So 1, 9 can't be that because of these 9s. 2, 8, 3, 7, okay, and 4, 6. So it must be 3, 7, which means we remove the 3 from here, which is 2 and 7. And since these 7s cross, that means this is the only remaining 7, which means this has to be 6, which means this has to be 6. And what else? 6. And these add up to 10. So 9, 1, 2, 8, 3, 7 can't be that, and 4, 6 can't be that. Okay, cool. Let's see what else we can do. 7s, 2s. Okay, so these 2s are taken care of, so this must be a 2. So this is 4, and this is 8. And again 8, and again 8. And now we're done with 8s. How amazing. Because there are only 3 cells left, I usually just fill in all the clues. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There must be 5s here. So 5, and then 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we fill in the 9. If you want to quickly check that this adds up to 15, it does. So yay. So we have a triple pair here. So 1, 5, 1, 5, 9, and 1, 5, 9. So which means this must be 3, 7. That wasn't very useful, but oh, I guess we have another 3, 7 pair here. So this must be 1, 5, 9, 1, 5, 9, 1, 5, 9. Because there's already a 5 here, it must be just 1, 9. And that wasn't helpful either. And again, here we can do the same thing, but since there's only these 3 missing, and then there's a 7 there. So yeah, so that was interesting. I guess these numbers must add up to 20 somehow. We can see that 9 is only possible here in this entire box, which means it must be 9. Remove the 1s, and this must be 9 as well. 5, 1, 1, 5, and okay, cool. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This row, so this is 8, which means this must be 16, which, as I said before, is only 7 plus 9. So 9, 7. And 7 here, and then this row only has 1 number left, which is a 4, and this entire box only has 1 number left, which is a 1, and now this adds up to 5, which means this is 6, and there we go. And just gonna fill in the rest of these. In this box right here, 4 can only be in the top, which means it can't be here, which means it must be here. Very cool. Okay, what else? Oh, 11 minutes already. Whoopsies. So this column is missing a 9. And this is a 9. and this is a 9. 1, because ones have to be here. 3, 3, 3, because 3s have to be here because 3s are already here, and then 3, 3, 5, 5, 5, 5, 7, 7, 7. This adds up to 2. It's missing. Okay, here is something really interesting, not really something I do often, but I guess I could talk about it here. So we know that 2 of these 4 squares are going to be 2, and they're going to be diagonal from each other, right? But consider this being 2 and this being 2. We know that can't be true because you can't have repeating numbers in a single cage, which means it must be 2 and 2. So that's something interesting that I really don't do often, like if at all, but I guess I was able to do it there, which is nice. 6, so that must be 5, 9, 9. We're almost done. Okay, 12 minutes. Not too bad, I guess. But I usually do better than that. Oh, you can go back to my statistics to check. My best time is 3 minutes and 46 seconds. I probably got lucky or something, but my average is around 8:40, I guess. That used to be much higher. When I first started playing, it was around like 20-30 minutes for the expert level ones. So yeah, it used to take me a while, but I guess I have gotten better, which is nice to hear. Anyway, this video is probably getting pretty long, so I'm going to end it here. Yeah. Okay, goodbye, and play the game if you want. It's also available on like actual sudoku.com on like a computer, but I don't play it there. I play it on this app. So yeah, okay, goodbye. Or maybe I'll just speed up the rest of this guy. Okay, bye.